Hey guys, it's Deni as always. I played Project Zomboid the other day and got a taste of the world of the real zombie apocalypse. When the world is post-apocalypse, food and water supplies are minimal, and you have to do whatever you can to survive. It's especially cool when it's all done as realistically as possible. That's why I decided to put together this selection for you. The most realistic apocalypse games at the moment, click on the like, click on subscribe if you are not subscribed yet, and actually, let's go! Do you miss adrenaline and dynamic gameplay? The perfect place to get it all? Good old Crossout. Tense battles, dozens of different vehicles, and hundreds of parts for their customization are waiting for you. You can make a powerful, bulletproof tank and destroy your enemies just by the look of it. Or make something smaller, but fast, and get in the back of unsuspecting enemies. In any case, Crossout is the best place to show everyone who is a real pro. Download the game at the link in the description. I'll start with the legendary game that brought the survival genre to the masses. This is DayZ, one of the most realistic zombie apocalypse games at the moment. Developers over the years have tightened up the graphics, made a lot of effort on themselves, fixed as much as possible zombies and the game in general. And here, the game very coolly shows that during the zombie apocalypse, you progress in understanding the local world order. I'll explain what I mean in a moment. If at first, when you have no supplies, weapons, and everything else, you are really afraid of literally every zombie and hide in the bushes, then further, finding more and more items and weapons, zombies cease to be a danger. That's where other players come into play, who you usually don't expect to see at all. This constant tension is very coolly realized here. And plus, the huge map also adds realism. I should probably say that apocalypses today will not only be about zombies, because that would be really boring. For example, in Generation Zero, the world ends because of robots. Different, scary, and very survivable. The events of the game are set in the 1980s in a fictionalized version of Sweden, plagued by a mysterious incident in which most of the population disappeared and the world was filled with hostile cybernetic creatures. You might also think it's straight survivalist and such a stark, overcast setting of scorched Sweden, but don't let that fool you. It's an item hunting shooter. It's like Borderlands, but a little bit curvier and more serious. Adequate here and on the side of pumping, and the gear you get from enemies. Visually, the game looks good. It endures all the hardships of fights with heaps of opponents, explosions of dozens of barrels, and active shootouts with special effects. In general, not bad. And this is Uncle Sam, who walks around the huge world, trying to work as a courier. In the second part, like, couriers will not be needed anymore, and I don't know what our hero will do there. But the second part hasn't come out yet, so the most relevant one is this one. A completely original, intricate plot awaits you, keeping you in the unknown until the last. We are one of the survivors of several huge explosions. The world was able to adapt to the apocalypse, but humanity lives out its last days in complete isolation from each other. Our hero is one of those who will help unite the country. The plot is presented in Kojima style, a little bit everywhere. In the middle of nothing, at the end we dump everything we have. All this is done in beautiful cutscenes and wise dialogues. In general, a unique game. Stalker, of course, can also be added here, because it has a very cool atmosphere. I don't think we're going to talk about Stalker too much here, everyone already knows it. Apocalypse, Chernobyl, anomalies, and everything else. In general, it is quite realistic, and the new part also visually looks very good. There is another analog of the Stalker. Here, of course, in terms of graphics realism, do not expect realism. Here everything is simpler, as in the conventional Minecraft, but there are some nuances. For starters, it's the same alienation zone. The game initially meets newcomers, well, not showing its true colors of M of Peace game. At first, you will be penetrated by the atmosphere, realism, the ability to kill and die from everything. Literally at every step of this game. On every mission, you will definitely meet a person from the opposite faction. Want to mine resources? Collect a squad and go to the enemy half of the location. Everything useful will be there, but sometimes you may get lucky and find some corpse and something useful in it. There is information that the second part of The Last of Us will be released on PC soon, so PC platform will be replenished with another former exclusive, and accordingly realistic apocalypses will be even more. Well, as for the first part, it is on PC, and we are there for Joel, as usual, gutting zombies. Apocalypse looks quite realistic there, and both from the graphics side and the development of the world, and the story in the game is cool, I think you know. Metro also has a cool story, and everything is not bad with realism in terms of apocalypse. It looks especially cool when putting on or taking off gas masks, the droplets of sweat dripping down it. Very cool looking. Good game, atmospheric in all locations except for the desert. Fear, joy, love and experiences, everything in the game is there and not inferior to previous installments of the series. The reveal of the characters on the wagon, their stories, experiences, and funny moments give their own flavor too. All in all, other than the dumb decisions on the part of the protagonist, there are no minuses in the game. A little more about zombies, because there are not many zombies in the post-apocalypse world. In front of you, the beautiful state of Decay 2. You are like a hero of the series, The Walking Dead. Survive, look for other people, build a base, help strangers, or ignore their pleas for help. Naturally, here you build buildings, drive cars, search anything, fight zombies, make difficult decisions, and much more. Moreover, you are free to play as any person from your community, switching them at the base, and matching each individual team member with a unique closet. All survivors have their own set of characteristics and features, and both positive and often negative, which adds to the realism of the whole experience. In front of you, the most beautiful isometric RPG. Moreover, this is the second part of the series. The biggest step forward in Trudograd is made in terms of graphics. The detailing of the environment has increased many times, has become better lighting, models, animations, added very beautiful effects of snow, blizzards, icicles hanging from houses. In the story, the hero of the last part of the game is promoted to Major and is sent to fulfill a new top secret and super important task. The character himself, by the way, you can either load from the last game or just create a new one. To understand what's going on here, you don't need to play the last part of the game. What about Frostpunk? Let's take a look at two of the best representatives of the genre. I'd like to start with the second Frostpunk and people's attempts to survive on burning oil, but it's not out yet. So let's get back to the harsh survival on coals. We're here to establish our settlement in a world where a global catastrophe has happened. Everyone around us froze to death and only a few people survived. Well, to keep them alive, they must chop wood and bake a stove. Along the way, build houses, increase the influx of population, and even go on various sorties. The bigger the town, the more problems await you, and often very realistic problems that you will have to solve. There's a problem in this game too. It's basically the same one. It is frost, where you can freeze literally walking an extra 20 meters. Of course not. There is an option that you will be eaten by wolves or a bear, but you still need to find them. And frost is always at hand, especially at night. The first thing worth noting, it is that the Long Dark is in constant development. The developers are regularly changing and improving the balance. They introduce new survival elements. Once a shotgun with ammunition was almost the only way to defeat a beast. Now there is a bow and fire with which you can drive away the predator. Realism has been added recently, and all this on the background of enchanting visuals, cool sound, and dynamically changing weather. And this is a legendary game about survival in gray shades. According to the plot here, the recently prosperous Chicago is dismantled by bricks. Trouble has come from wherever it was expected, not from the sky in the form of nuclear missiles, but from the bowels of the earth. A fantastically strong earthquake practically wiped the city off the face of the planet and crushed the fragile civilized society into dust. Left alone with piles of glass and concrete with a severe shortage of drinking water, the survivors are rapidly losing their human form. In such a difficult environment, the protagonist will have to save not only his life, but also the lives of others. Well, this is also a former exclusive which was happily welcomed on PC. Everything is bad in the world, zombies run, bite, different gangs appeared, and everything else. In short, the atmosphere of a typical zombie apocalypse. The main plus of the game is in the characters. They are alive, and starting with the main character Deacon and ending with Iron Mike. All of them are not just puppets, which only open their mouths, but full-fledged personalities with their own characters and features, which is very attractive to me personally. Another significant advantage that on PC and 4K picture is very beautiful. A large number of various enemy forces and dynamic weather system give the game realism. In addition, the large-scale open world creates a sense of openness and opportunities to explore. The second part of Dying Light can also please you with open world and real atmosphere of zombie apocalypse. You are waiting for survival with parkour in a huge city, which is inhabited by different zombies and warring gangs. The game has a good story, a lot of pumping, as well as a very dangerous night, because with the arrival of night come more dangerous zombies inhabiting this world. Because of this, the atmosphere in the game becomes even stronger. And a couple of words about the game. It's Project Zomboid, which I talked about in the beginning of this video. I continue to play it, even without installing any mods, and I get unbridled pleasure, feeling that the character here can die literally from one bite. Getting food, learning different professions, fighting zombies, and feeling like the last survivor is a rather unique state. And this game perfectly immerses you in this state. Well, that's all for today. I hope you found something interesting and therefore clicked on the like and subscribe too. As always, Deni is with you, and have a good day.